Mr. Lokota. Sir, the Minister spoke a lot about our economy's growth being very dependent on sorting out the energy situation in the country. Did you find that bit of his speech interesting? What are your thoughts?
I think the Minister was very bold in identifying and accurate in identifying the weaknesses that we face. Starting with this question. Now, on this issue of the energy, we have been of the view, very strong view, that there should be drastic action to at least nationalize, at least in part, open for private participation by the private sector in electricity generation. He was also bold in raising the issue that by 2017-2018, the nation's debt, in fact, it will be a lot of it will be recalled, but it will have grown to a bigger, huge figure. What he doesn't do is to indicate as to of the steps that he is taking today. How is he preparing the country to meet that challenge when those years come? Because we must really get ready for that big crunch when the demand on that come. The third thing is that he tried to take some steps which I think were very good balancing steps to control the present situation. Pension payouts and things like the slight amount of tax here is going to make it uncomfortable for some of the people. The worry is these little bits and pieces here and there for tax grants and all of that. That is like promising people a misty day when the sun is going to come up at about 9 or 10. And then that evaporates. And those 60 rands mean nothing.
Thank you so much for your time. So Lucanio, it's back to you now.
Abra, thank you very much. I'm now joined by Mr. Kwankwa from the United Democratic Movement. Sir, thanks very much for joining us, firstly. Very delicate, the Minister had to tread quite delicately there, having to mix projected growth of 2% with raising a personal income tax. Your opinion?
Well, they've never achieved any of their projected growth or growth focus, so we're not going to deal with that now. Insofar as fiscal consolidation is concerned, we feel that the minister's heart is in the right place, but his government has actually taken a wrong turn. Because you can't increase taxes when you actually haven't given us a report of whether or not the cost-cutting measures you put in place in the past have yielded any desired results. The second issue is that, remember, a lot of money is wasted on irregular expenditure and corruption in South Africa, which could then use to prop up government services and to reduce our deficit if we were to ensure that there's government efficiency. But the problem is that we're too eager to increase taxes without actually sorting out in-house problems.
All right, Mr. Kwankwa, thank you very much for joining us. Okay, I'm now going to hand you over to my colleague, Abra Baabia, who's standing by. Abra?
I'm now going to speak to the leader of the IFP, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. Sir, thank you so much for joining us right now. Can you tell us how should South Africans be feeling today following that speech?
Well, I don't think that there is anything to write home about as far as I'm concerned, as far as citizens are concerned, because the overall impression that I got is that we must realize that we are in a very gloomy situation in our country. And I admire, of course, the minister himself, because he acknowledged the fact that although the service delivery of water, etc., but that, many of our people are still living in shacks and the poverty is what it is. Now, because if you look at things like the expected economic growth at about 2%, I mean, that's the only thing that creates jobs. So the major thing in this country is that our young people don't have jobs. So clearly, for the foreseeable future, we're not going to do that. We're very grateful, of course, that a few rand were added to the social grants, because in the circumstances, it's obvious that...
Prince, sorry, we're going to have to end it there. We have to go to an ad break right now. I'm so sorry about that. We're going to be crossing to an ad break right now. We'll see you after